Hey everyone, Stephen Glicker here from Roll from Combat. Excuse me if I'm rambling because I just woke up and I had about a million messages of people sending me something because a couple of weeks ago I put out a video where I basically said that I think D&D is going to be sold by Hasbro. And of all the people they could sell it to, I was thinking they'd probably try to sell it to Larian Studios or they'd sell it to Tencent directly because Tencent actually owns 30% of Larian Studios, and it would make sense for Tencent to actually buy it because they have the money and they can do something with it. And I actually was only talking about the digital rights. I wasn't talking about everything, but I woke up to breaking news that this might be coming true, okay? I know my track record is insanely good, but even I'm kind of stunned by this. So here's the news. It's all over Chinese media, but anyhow, this is on Panda Daily. Well, here we go. Hasbro seeks to sell IP D&D and has preliminary contact with Tencent. Speed Daily exclusively learned that American toy company Hasbro is seeking to sell its well-known IP Dungeons & Dragons, referred to as D&D below, and Tencent is one of the potential buyers. At present, the negotiations are still in the early stages, and both parties have not yet reached an agreement on the details of the transaction. According to informed sources, the financial crisis faced by Hasbro is the main reason for considering the sale of D&D, and Tencent investment Larian Studios is acting as an intermediary in the transaction. Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3 won the Game of the Year award in 2023. Is considered one of the most successful adaptations of D&D. As a result, it was seen as a potential target buyer by Hasbro. However, due to insufficient funds, Larian ultimately introduced this deal to shareholder Tencent. And then it goes on to talk about the two studios. Okay. There's a couple things going on here. Oh, by the way, there's actually some pretty interesting thing. Here we go. According to the aforementioned IEGN insiders, Tencent, actually, that's their entertainment group. Tencent currently holds the game adaptation rights for many top-tier IPs. However, due to licensing model mostly not being a one-time buyout, Tencent only needs to bear high copyright fees and long-term revenue sharing, but also frequently faces restrictions from its partners in terms of development operation, blah, blah, blah. It made the mobile game of tier, blah, blah, blah. So basically, if this acquisition is successful, it will enable Tencent to gain dominant control over the IP of Dungeons & Dragons, which will largely avoid the aforementioned issues. Basically, they'll be able to do anything they want with it. So, okay, this is insane because I don't even know what to say, actually. By the way, here's the other source. This actually is in Chinese, and it was adapted into English, so it's all messed up. I kind of like how they write here. It's Snow Leopard Finance learned that American toy company Hasbro is seeking to sell its well-known IP Dungeons & Dragons, and Tencent's one of the potential buyers.
I'm tired of playing my favorite tabletop RPGs as one of the old boring races. I don't want those generic, store-brand backstories. I want to roll a character with a bit more character. Well, Roll for Combat is here to help with their incredible new book, Battle Zoo Ancestry's Classic Creatures, which gives you the power to create the character of your dreams. Dig into 12 unique playable monster races in this beautifully printed, massive, hardcover book filled with in-depth descriptions, abilities, lore, and more. Send that dusty old dwarf right back to the mines and live out your isekai fantasy by becoming an actual intelligent weapon that you wield yourself. Or you could let a friend grab you instead. Teamwork. Put that elf back on the shelf and become a sentient dungeon, complete with traps, treasures, and a living avatar. You could even put an end to the age of man and become a shape-shifting mimic. You know, those things that gave you trust issues ever since you were eaten by one in Dark Souls? Ooh, that could be you. Click the link below or head on over to battlezoo.com to secure your copy of Battle Zoo Ancestry's Classic Creatures today and become the life of your adventuring party.
So, okay, either someone watched my video and this is completely fake and they're just fishing, or this is completely legitimate and I just predicted it. So, who knows? But I think this might be legitimate because it could even be the third option is someone in Hasbro watched my video and thought that's not such a bad idea reached out to Tencent, and Tencent might be interested. And more importantly, they're using Larian as the intermediary, as the in-between. Sorry, I didn't have anything to drink or eat. I literally just got up. So this might be happening. And I have to say, this is not a bad thing, because if this does happen, Larian Studios will be able to make D&D forever. Tencent has a lot, and I mean a lot of companies under their belt. I know people, and there was a lot of negative reaction. They're saying they don't want Tencent to have D&D. They don't want Tencent to control it. I hate to break it to you. Tencent controls almost every video game company out there in some capacity. They have their hands in everything. And I know it's crazy. I actually worked with Tencent years ago, and they were awesome. They were great. They were actually fantastic to work with. Now, I don't even know what to say. I actually don't even know. This just came in. I got to think about this a little, but this would take a while. I don't think this would happen right away, but this is extremely weird timing, but yet good timing, because look, D&D is as hot as it's ever been. It's never going to get hotter. This is it. It's the peak D&D. It's in the zeitgeist. You have Stranger Things, Critical Role. You got everything going on. The 50th anniversary, and Hasbro is hurting here. That's my phone, because everyone's like writing me. Hurting, and they need money, and they have to start selling stuff. It's as simple as that. They need to either make more money, fire more people, or sell things. That's all they can really do. They could get rid of their dividend, but that would just cause the stock to absolutely tank. So they can't do that. They can sell more of their own stock, but they can't really do that, nor will they want to. And they would probably rather start exploring getting rid of IPs. And D&D, it just doesn't make them that much money. You know, it makes them in the tens, maybe 100,000 at most, as opposed to something like Magic the Gathering, which makes them $1 billion a year. And I have a feeling that if they can get $1 billion or two, and they can walk away from this and say, you know what, we're going to make more in this one transaction than we would make for D&D in the next 10, 15 years, they're going to do it. They'll sell it. There's no reason for them not to. I don't think Hasbro, especially the C-suite, has any love for D&D. They just don't. So what do you guys think? By the way, check out later today. There's big breaking news. There's a new OGL going around, and I'm going to talk about that today with Justin Alexander, who wrote this. He's actually going to be our guest. And this is at 3 o'clock Eastern today on Roll for Combat. And we are giving out, next week, we start our new backer kit where you can play pretty cool ancestries. You can play a demon, you can play a mimic, you can play a doppelganger, you can play an intelligent dungeon, you can play intelligent weapon, and the first 48 hours, you get this, okay? This thing is worth $50, and you get this for free, but it's only the first 48 hours. Just go to battlezoo.com, or you can go to yearmonsters.com, and this mimic dice case. Look at the size of this thing. Okay, you get this absolutely for free. Only the first 48 hours you get this for free. That's it. After the first 48 hours, it launches next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And next week, on top of that, for those of you who like Red Letter Media and Second Wind, Jack Packard is going to be my special guest, because we are doing a deal with Second Wind. We're actually working with them. So yeah, there's a lot going on here at Roll for Combat. So big recap. Larian Studios might be buying D&D, or Tencent might be buying D&D through Larian Studios. We got a big breaking story today on Roll for Combat today at 3 p.m. where we're going to talk about the new OGL that's been going out to people, what that means. Next week, we have a backer kit, which you can see at Year of Monsters. You can sign up, and if you get this book, it's an awesome book. It's going to come out this summer. We already finished it. People have been playing with it. They absolutely love it. It's for Pathfinder and D&D, and if you back the, it's not a Kickstarter, it's backer kit. If you back it, you get this absolutely for free. This thing's worth $50, and where else are you gonna get a $50 thing for free, man? And that's it. So, oh, and Jack Packard's gonna be in the show next Wednesday. If you guys like Red Letter Media or Second Wind or The Escapist. So check it all out. Let me know down in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.